Whoa, just when we expected that we'll have some type of dump, Israel strikes Iran. Kind of crazy how that works. Welcome back to Understanding Crypto. My name is Herve, and every other day here I cover cryptocurrency in the easiest way possible on the internet. We do things like predictive analysis, research, and tutorials to help guide you through this crazy world of crypto, tokens, and coins. So if that's the type of content that you find interesting, be sure to click that like button and subscribe to the channel so that you don't get to miss out on any other value-packed video like this one. Now, I hope that if you're subscribed to this channel, you'll also be a member of our Telegram channel. That's where I send you very quick updates, like in the moment updates on what's going on and what's potentially going to happen. Some of you may not be part of my TikTok page, so I will be making those videos here on YouTube so that you are also in the know, just as people on TikTok. So let's quickly look at BTC on the CME. So yes, so the CME gap got filled. Yes, the CME gap we're talking about, it got filled. And the only other CME gap that we have to the downside right now is the one at 92k. This one at 97 to 96 already got filled. When we got the CME gap here at 105k, I said I don't like when CME gaps are below price. They tend to make price come to the downside. This move down here looks a lot like a C wave. Yeah, this big move to the downside right here, and it gives us more information about what may potentially happen now. Okay, so yeah, we're done with that CME gap. Let's go to USDT Dominance and see what's going on there. So USDT Dominance, we did suggest in our last YouTube video that we could still come up here and then continue to the downside. Yes, but yesterday I sent you a post on Telegram telling you that we've come to that first level that we showed here on YouTube. However, there's a very good argument to be made on the idea that USDT Dominance goes back to the upside, so continues to the upside to that 0.786 Fibonacci level. USDT Dominance retraced from that level and then continued to the upside, but closed a 1 hourly candle above the 0.786 Fibonacci level. As we can currently see, it's using the 0.618 right here as a support for another potential move to the upside. Where could it lead for USDT Dominance, considering that this is potentially a C wave for USDT? Well, that thing could go as high as the 4.96% level. So that would be about a 3% move for USDT Dominance. What would that mean for BTC? Okay, so let's quickly go. Now, this is the 1 hourly, yeah? So micro, this has nothing to do with the macro. It may or may not change some things on the macro, but for now it hasn't. So we are not focused on the macro right now. If we go to the macro, that will just make this video very long. So let's quickly go to BTC and see what's going on there. By the way, if you want shorter videos like this one, make sure to like this video. That way I know that you actually want shorter updates. So BTC did have a big move to the downside as well. We are currently witnessing some type of ABCD move to the downside. Note that the E wave is not always guaranteed. So the potential move to the E wave right here is not always guaranteed. Some of the times you will not even get that. And that's why I'll actually be watching to see what happens on this particular box right here and update you in our next video. Yesterday on TikTok, I did say that as we moved down to this level right here, there's a good chance, and that level was somewhere around 106.6, exactly 106.6, that we were potentially going to go back to the 108k zone. We actually did go back to that 108k zone, which was indicated by this green arrow, green dotted line right here. And then we continued to the downside. So we continued to the downside and we came even below this our zone right here, and we are now in the accumulation zone. This is where this thing is going to decide if it's going to have another big wave to the downside or not. So we will be watching to see where that leads. As Israel struck Iran, Iran has vowed to strike back. Just moments before that strike, Trump actually said that he's much more in favor of having some type of deal with Iran. But as Israel struck Iran, he came now and said, well, he's been trying to convince Iran to make a deal instead. But, you know, it's led to this military action. The Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, Rubio came out and said, well, the US was not directly involved in the strike, and so Iran should not target any US military facilities in the region and that type of stuff. So it's kind of giving vibes of we were not involved in this, don't attack us, that type of stuff. And many people are very against the strike. They are calling it an unprovoked attack. And yeah, all of that led to oil prices moving to the upside and our markets moving to the downside, unfortunately. So yes, we will watch out to see what happens in this zone, and I will be sure to update you in our next video. The next couple of days may be super volatile. We have the Fed meeting on the 18th of June, and so it may actually be a good thing that we are dumping into the news. But yeah, we'll be watching to see what happens, and I will be sure to update you in our next video. The only other thing that I was looking at was ETH BTC. So ETH BTC here, well, I was actually hoping that ETH BTC could close a daily candle above this 1.618 right here, and ETH BTC did not. This again refused ETH USDT from confirming a bullish rally above that 0.5 Fibonacci level. However, this thing is consolidating close to a resistance zone, so it is actually a good sign. Yeah, it's a good sign, and this thing pulled a 40% move, the highest it's done since 2022. So it's a good sign overall for this thing. So ETH USDT, if we go there, you will see that Ethereum has not confirmed a bullish rally above that 0.5 Fibonacci level. This is all because of the whole strike thing on Iran and stuff. The stock market is also dumping here by about 1%. So it's generally not a good thing for the markets that we're having this war. And you might be like, well, why is this thing actually dumping? Like, what does this thing have to do with Israel? Yeah, well, it's all because people are suspecting that Israel could pull the United States into some type of Middle Eastern conflict. So yeah, that's why this thing is dumping. If that happens, then oil prices will soar, and it will not be good for anybody. What are my bets now? Well, I don't necessarily think that we are at the brink of some type of World War III right here. I don't think so. Many people are saying that's the case, but I don't necessarily think that. I'm generally an optimistic person. Yeah, I like to see the good sides of things. So don't blame me if I think we are not actually going to have some type of nuclear apocalypse. There are some people who are saying that if Israel has its own nuclear weapons, then why shouldn't Iran have its own nuclear weapons? And that's up for some type of debate. Maybe you can let me know in the comments what your own thoughts about this whole situation is. But until the next one, folks, I want to keep this video very short. I was actually preparing our tutorial video before this whole dump thing happened as Israel struck Iran. So that may only come by tomorrow. But until then, stay safe.